Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. I'm back today with another Sims 4 video where I'm creating a character from Need for Speed Unbound in CAS in The Sims 4. Words are hard. And I'm creating Tess, who's kind of like my sugar mummy in the game. She's like our patron. She kind of sponsors us, she gives us money, she finds us jobs, she gets us driving stolen cars and getting chased by the cops. She's a bit of a handful. She's definitely a character, right? I just need to say I've got a new webcam, so if I'm looking deathly pale, that's why. I need to fiddle around with the contrast settings. I am very pale in real life, but it's making me look even more so. So yeah, talking about skin tone, I'm in the game right now with Tess, trying to create her skin tone. She's, I believe she's Chinese. She doesn't actually have a bio yet that I've seen. You know, some of the players have like a bio. She's not actually been a racer, so I haven't seen an actual bio, but through the dialogue she names the place where she was born, and you actually ride through that area in the game, and it's got all like Chinese lanterns. It's kind of like the Chinatown of the game. So yeah, I'm presuming that to be the case. So yeah, she's got this really lovely kind of like warm brown skin tone, which I'm trying to match. And again, like Yaz, she has that kind of like orangey blush, so trying to get a skin tone right. I never feel like I 100% match it kind of like perfectly. Like I am not kind of the oh, what's it called now? I'm not like the Fenty? What's the makeup range that Rihanna did where she brought out all the skin tones and they were like perfect match? Yeah, I'm not that good. The hair I struggled with a little bit. We have got quite a few kind of similar options. I kind of dabbled between this one because I do like that it kind of like, you know how she's got it tucked behind her ear and then it's kind of like asymmetrical. I like that about it, but it wasn't blue, right? It wasn't quite the right tone. So I faff around with the hair for quite a while, and eventually I go for like, I think it's like a base game kind of like angled bob, which is kind of similar. It's the right colour blue, but it actually comes down across her face a little bit more, so instead of being like she's like so that's the one that I go for in the end. So again, that's the one that's not quite right. Yeah, I to and froed with it for quite a while, so this is the one that I actually end up going with. It is the right shape, especially around this area and kind of one side. It's a shame it's not like tucked behind her ear on one side, because that would have been perfect, but it is what it is. I really like her hairstyle. It's like, I love that it's like this bright blue. I wish I'd been able to get like the two-tone of it as well with the dark roots, but again, without actually going out and creating my own content, which again I used to do. I used to make custom content and mods for The Sims 4, so I do know how to do that, but again, trying to keep it CC free so that I can upload it to the gallery and share it with you all kind of like a little bit more easily. I'm aware of how pale I am, and I'm like, oh no, why do I have webcam problems? So yeah, jumping in, starting to shape her face. Now, one thing that I particularly love about her face, and I took a long time to get it right, and I didn't quite get it right in the video, but it's this jaw shape. So she has this really pronounced chin, and then this really beautiful kind of like angled heart-shaped jawline. So I play with that a little bit. When I first do it, I feel like it was almost comical, so I toned it back down again, but after the video ends, I actually, on the sim that I'm going to upload to the gallery, I went in and kind of tweaked it again off camera a little bit more, and I'm much more happy with it now. So it's slightly different than you're going to see. It's going to be the girl on the thumbnail, right? That's what it's going to look like in the end. So yeah, really like love her jawline. I think she's so beautiful. And then again, I like faff around with her eyes for quite a while, because like she has kind of quite narrow smiley eyes, and if you look closely in the game, sometimes you do kind of see, because I know that sometimes Asian eyes, they don't have the kind of double lid that kind of people with Western eyes tend to have. So again, that's not a stereotype. It's not like every single person, right? It's like, I'm just cautious of what I'm saying. You get it. So you can't really see it on those two pictures that I've got there, but if you look carefully in the game and she's turning, she has actually got that indentation there. So at first I go with one of the eyes in the game that has that double lid, but I cannot get it quite right, and I cannot perfect it, and I think her face looks too Western. So I do actually in the end go back and I give her one of the like is it like, I don't know what you call it, like single lid eyes. I'm sorry, I'm not I'm just an idiot. I don't know what words are. So yeah, I go hooded. I don't know. I have hooded eyes. Yeah, I kind of like, I go back and adjust those eyes, but I do like that I've got them looking quite smiley. I think she's a very, very cheerful character, so she's really playful. She's got a really good sense of humor. She's very, very cheeky and mischievous. She's always kind of like slightly winding people up, but in kind of an affectionate, fun way. She doesn't seem to have any malice with that. Again, really, you can see by the amount of times I go back to the eyes, I'm just not happy with them. I just can't settle on them. So yeah, in the end, when I actually do swap them, they look so much better, and it does look a lot more like her. So I'm happy with the decision to do that. Like I say, even though like I don't know, it's something that I agonized over. Yeah, she's a very cheeky, very fun character. She's got a really big, like kind of like loud personality. So Rydell calls her like a lot. He says she's a lot. You know, she's a lot to handle. She's a lot to deal with. It's kind of like she's a little bit hyper. So yeah, she's definitely not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And I have seen other people who've been like playing the game who've kind of like been like, whoa, calm down, like not their favorite character. But I personally really, really like it because I'm a bit squirrel brain as well, right? She's like me, her same energy. So yeah, then I'm playing around with the nose again here. I do think, again, in hindsight, I could have perhaps made it a little bit wider. But yeah, she's got kind of a slightly angled nose. It kind of has like a bit of a down turn at the end there. Kind of like a little bit hawkish, I think. And from the side, you can see it's got a slight outward bump. So yeah, I play around with the nose for quite a while, but it's quite straight. So yeah, in a minute I think you'll see me turn her and start to work on her nose from the side. I couldn't get her face from the side quite right, so she has this kind of like angled back forehead, and then her face is quite like linear all the way down. She doesn't have like a lot of in and out on her face, right? So but I didn't quite find, either I couldn't understand the cast tools correctly to create that look, or they're just not available. So I do think like The Sims 4 is really good at representation and diversity. I do think that this is something that they've been continually working on. I do feel like we need a Create Sim update that gives us more points that we can edit on faces, because I think that would help us to kind of like perfect it. I'm going in and doing her lip colour now. So she's got so just looking at the hair, the reason why I put that hair back on her is to get it out of the way of her face, so we can actually see her as she's creating her. But I go back and put the other hair back on her. So I'm doing the lip tone. So where Yaz has kind of like evil villain, wicked queen, purple lipstick and purple eyes, she's got really bold makeup. Yaz has barely any makeup actually. She's kind of doing like the bear look. And she just has that kind of like lip gloss. So I take a while to find a kind of glossy lip. I end up going with that base game one. Sims team, if you happen to watch this, I'd love another glossy lip, because I think glossy lips are coming back in fashion. That kind of like 2000 era Britney Spears like don't touch my lips because you will stick to me kind of glossy lip. So yeah, I think it'd be nice to have a few more gloss options. But I go in and I make it quite dark, because again, it doesn't look like it has colour to it. It looks like it's just like a dark, like, you know, like a clear gloss on a lip. So I do try and make it quite dark. It's got like a bit of a red tint to it as well. I don't know. So here I'm changing her eyes, and again, immediately I think it looks much more like her. So again, like, they are typically the more Asian looking eyes in the game, and again, I think that looks so much more like her. Like, you can really see on that image to the left. So I do stick with that. And again, it's, if you go and look in the game and watch the shadows as she moves, she does sometimes have an indentation there. But again, it was like, I don't know, it's kind of like, what do I do? So there you go. I'm messing with her eyebrows now. Her eyebrows were quite easy. If you go back and look at Yaz's video, I had a lot of trouble with her eyebrows, but I found like hers were much more easy to do. I do think I've caught her expression well, just with like the little upturned mouth, the kind of little tweaks I make to her eyes to kind of look like she's smiling, you know, like when people's eyes smile, because again, she's a very, very fun character. So I'm quite happy with how she turned out. Again, I think right now, I think I've finished editing her face for the video right now. I do think she looks ever so slightly too European. So if you go and compare her to the thumbnail version is the one that I'm going to upload, and I have just gone in and ever so slightly tweaked her. I've gone back to kind of make her jaw a little bit slimmer. She's kind of got a big jaw like me at this point, and that's not what a jaw's like. Yeah, and I go back and just kind of like, it's one of those where I have got face blindness, so I don't know how many of you know this about me. I do talk about it quite frequently, and it's not that I can't see faces. It's not that I'm literally blind to faces, like there's just a fuzz over it. Oh, I'll just talk about her clothes quickly. So I struggle a little bit to match her jacket because it has a shine to it. It does seem a little bit like a puffer jacket, a little bit like a leather jacket with that red trim. So I play around for quite a while with all the different jackets in the game. I think I even look at the masculine jackets at one point. I like that jacket on her, but it's not quite right? It's not the same style. And then that jacket is too kind of rock and roll, so it does take me a while to find a good jacket, and eventually I do settle on that one because it has the kind of asymmetric collar, so I go with that, even though it doesn't actually look exactly the same, and it doesn't exactly have like the red like fur trim or whatever that is. So I always struggle because they don't have the exact clothing in the game, so I got something that was like these leggings. If you've been sleeping on the university life leggings, they are so good. They look like your favorite pair of leggings in real life. They look like they suck your tummy in. They look like they shape your butt. They look like the best pair of leggings that you would ever buy. So if you've been sleeping on them, if you didn't realise that they have like a plain black version, go and check them out. University Life. Oh, so here I'm doing a trace. Let me just hide my face. Oh no, I'm not doing her traits yet. I'm just literally, I need to save her, I think, at this point. Do I? No, I'm actually doing a trait. So I give her the money trait and materialistic as well, because she's always about the hustle in the game. She's always encouraging the main player to go out and earn more money. She's like, listen, you need to earn more money, get out there, do more races. So she is quite money orientated. I've given her cheerful because she is super like hyper cheerful, a bit like yours truly, and it took a while to decide what other trait to give her, but I gave her outgoing. For her likes, I give her like pop music, because yeah, I don't know, like she talks about music at one point in the game, and then she kind of makes a derogatory remark about like, there you go. So she doesn't like tween pop music because she makes this derogatory remark about this like kind of Lindsay Lohan type character. So I figured that she likes pop music, but not like kids pop music. And then here, so media production was a big one for her. So there's actually a clip, like a cutscene, where she's filming live on Instagram, and she's constantly talking about social media. She's getting Rydell and Rydell's rides on social media. So I give her photography as well because I thought that fit. I give her mischief. I give her comedy because, again, she's got a big sense of humour. I take off video gaming. I have like a second thought about that one. Yeah, and then I go for the Cosmolux decor because, again, she's kind of quite fashionable. She's quite forward thinking, and quite trendy, so I thought that suited her. I give her the kind of flirty walk style, the kind of really girly one, that one, because I think it really suits her. You do see her walking at one point. She kind of comes out of a building and gets in your car. You're kind of like offering a taxi service to her. So yeah, that is kind of what she's got going on. Hi, I'm back. I can't remember what I was saying now. I was having like a chat about something and I've completely forgotten what I was talking about. It's like before she was getting the clothes on, right? I don't know. Maybe it'll come back to me, maybe it won't. I'm sorry. Let me know in the comments if you want me to finish that thought. So going in and kind of like giving her the rest of her outfits now. Oh, it's bothering me. I can't remember what I was saying on that one. I don't know. So yeah, I do consider using both hairstyles for those of you who may prefer that one, but I just didn't like that green bit in it, and I didn't think it was quite right. So I think I do go back and switch it out to the kind of the base game hair, because I don't know, I was leaning more towards that one. So going with skinny jeans because I figured they're similar to leggings, but maybe a bit more appropriate for cold weather. Trainers again because she wears big big white trainers in the game. I love that jacket, but I think I put it on Yaz, so I changed it. I think, what do I end up putting on her? I can't remember if I stick with that jacket for cold weather or not. Possibly. And then just going in and putting her makeup back on as well. I can't remember what I was saying. I don't know. I can't remember what I was talking about. Brain like a sieve, guys. Same energy. Yeah, going in doing a hot weather outfit now. I can't pause the video, it just runs. Once I start it running, it just runs, so I have to try and like talk over and catch up with like what I'm doing on the screen. Yeah, so again, I figured she's kind of into like social media. I thought maybe she's into kind of like a little bit of K-pop and things like that, so I give her like that little preppy skirt. I thought that was a really cute look. Yeah, she's quite fashionable. She seems a little bit more fashionable and kind of trendy than some of the other characters who lean towards the kind of more sporty traditional style. I really love the glasses, so again, like I really wanted to put some glasses on her. I figured she'd probably wear like designer kind of trendy brand glasses, you know, whatever's trending on Instagram, she'd go out and buy them because, you know, that's why she wants money to spend it. So I do tie up her hair. I take a while to kind of decide which one. I really like that one, but again, I think it's intended to be like an afro textured hair game, where in my head, like similar to this one, it kind of makes me think of like Bjork. There was like a trend, like an indie trend in kind of like the late 90s where like girls who go into a club would have those little bunches too. So yeah, I was thinking indie, but again, it's like a textured hair, so I thought, no, it's not quite what I'm looking for. It's not quite right. Yeah, again, I went for Moschino because I think she'd like her brands. I think she'd like a designer, so I went for the Moschino swimwear. I put that on her because I randomly felt like it suited her, but because I didn't take it off. Again, going for those absolutely fabulous leggings. So they're just the plain black leggings from Discover University. If you're looking for a good wearable pair of yoga pants in the game, Discover University. They don't all have the branding on them. They're all like plain options too. Sadly, no plain red. The red ones that are in the game have like lettering on them, because that's what she normally wears on a normal outfit. So I just went with those anyway. I thought they were close enough. So I'm giving her the ones that look like Air Force Ones. So I had to I thought they were available for girls, but then I couldn't find them when I was looking for them. So I take off the feminine tag and I found them in the men's section. But yeah, I figured she'd definitely wear Air Force Ones and like definitely like to a party and stuff like that as well. So again, just going back in and putting the same lipstick and stuff on her. I haven't put any eyeshadow or mascara on her because she has the kind of like the winged eyelashes that come with like attached to the eyes, and that kind of looks like all she has in the game. She doesn't look like she wears eye makeup. Yeah, and then again the Moschino, the black Moschino leather top on that as well for a party wear. So again, just going in and adjusting her profile ever so slightly. Again, I just felt like I couldn't quite get all the angles right. So again, I just kind of like, it's something I kept on going back to and kept on tweaking, and I feel like I did improve it on the sim that I'm going to upload. Again, leggings, comfy leggings for sleeping in. What top do I put on her? I think I faff around with this for a minute. At one point as well, I remember going in and making her bum a little bit better. She has a great bum, you know, when you see her from the side in the game. Yeah, so we're going with that little Realm of Magic kind of top. I really like that. So a top tip as well for when you're doing sleepwear, because I feel like sleepwear is quite limited. If you take off the tag and then the sleepwear tag and then look for like sweaters, like sweatshirts and things like that, there's a lot of things that would work for like cozy sleepwear. You know, like people will wear just like a hoodie to sleep in if it's cold. The fashion throwback fit kit, like love it to pieces. I don't know again why I was so salty about it when it came out. Those kind of like Adidas styles I use all the time. And then I go with this dress because I thought it looked kind of designer. I think she would dress up for formal wear, but she's going to wear trainers with it. Yeah, just those plain white trainers. I kind of look like Nikes or something, or Reeboks. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I go in as well. I think you see her carrying a phone almost all the time, and it does look like she has manicured nails. So I go in and give her manicured nails on every single outfit. I can state my hair. And yeah, and I think that is pretty much it. I think that's pretty much all I did with her on camera. Oh, and I give her a tattoo. She doesn't have a tattoo in the game, but I felt like she'd have one. I felt like she would have got drunk and been like, yeah, cat, at some point. So little tattoo, sorry, I banged the thing there. Just as a little throw that in there kind of thing. There you go, slightly bigger bum, and that is what she looks like. So let me know what you think. If you'd like to get her, she will be available on the gallery, as will Rydell and Yaz. I'm not making the main character because the main character is your character and it's customizable, so it's just yourself sim, right, that you'd play with if you want to like have yourself in the game. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So go and take them out, go and have fun with them, make them all besties, and let me know. Send me screenshots if you do happen to play with them. You can tag me on Twitter at Cinderella Mouse, and yeah, check out Need for Speed Unbound if you're a simmer. Check out The Sims if you're an Unbound player. EA haven't asked me to do this. It's just my two favourite games, and I like to combine things. Sims 4, please give us cars, I beg you, dear leaders. And that is pretty much it. And then I just take a load of screenshots for the thumbnail. And that's it. Right, do take care of yourselves. I'm going to leave it there, and I will see you again soon. Bye, friends.